Can you guys see my screen?
No,
No.
not yet.
Give me a minute. How about now?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you everyone for once again joining to our session, OpenAI and ChatGPT in Salesforce by Alok Kumar. And we already started 15 minutes past, and there are a lot of questions coming. We see the lot of interest on this session. Just to let you know, there are 200 registrations for this session. That name ChatGPT and OpenAI, it's so buzzing, and our speaker Alok is also expert in it. So I believe that's the reason we got these many number of registrations. And I hope the people who join this session will get a lot of abundance of knowledge. Right. Just to give you a brief of our community, Salesforce Developer Group Vijayawada has been established more than 3 years, right? It's been 3 years, and we are a family of 1,540 members. So we are first couple of years, in the virtual medium, we did a lot of sessions. Until today, we did 33 sessions, through Salesforce Developer Group Vijayawada. We took a small break. Our last session was 9 months ago. Due to some professional commitments, our group of hosts and co-hosts took a small break. And 2023, we decided, hey, we need to get back. We need to give back to the community. Now I think we are established in ourselves in the professional career and personal career. Now it's time to give back. So that's why, we will be having a back-to-back sessions through our community. Not only that, we are also collaborating with the Bangalore community. I personally and stay in Bangalore. Even my admin group leader stays in Bangalore. So we are also collaborating with Bangalore group, community, and very soon you will hear some news like Vijayawada and Bangalore community collaboration. We are doing some in-person event in the month of March. We'll be hearing out. I just want to know who all are from Bangalore, and very much happy to attend that in-person event. I see few hands are raising. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Here out, we'll be back with a, bumper. I'm not revealing anything, but yeah, there is a huge in-person event we are planning, and you will be hearing it out soon. Yeah. So we are also having a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is having 1.6K subscribers. Maybe the last video which we uploaded is almost 2 years ago. But yes, the content is very much vibrant. People do watch some of the mock interviews. We did an event called VCGF 20 in the year 2020 of November. We have done a lot of mock interviews over there. So whatever the mock interviews we have done, we have uploaded in our YouTube channel, and people do love these videos. If you can see, this video is having almost 26K, not any par than any good YouTuber videos. But yeah, that's how we are getting love from the YouTube as well. Please do look into our YouTube channel, and we have done a lot of sessions also. If I quickly open my YouTube, right, we have a lot of product related sessions. We have a lot of SF product sessions, leader sessions, VCGF sessions, and moreover we have some product related sessions like marketing cloud, PAD, D2C, developer to consultant session, some student related sessions, some leaders session, right? We have a lot of good sessions, and more than that, we have mock interviews and some of the interview preparation sessions. So please do look into these videos. You will get some insights, and do provide us some feedback, after looking into the videos. Yep. And also we have a Telegram channel. This is a very buzzing channel. We have almost 1,300 plus people in this channel. And the good part is, the people share their knowledge. People share some of the courses. People do share job openings. This is the need of the hour where, most of our folks and friends are losing the jobs due to mass layoffs. So this is where, these channels are very much handy and helps people to land up into the new job. Please do consider joining this Telegram group as well. And we have a Twitter handle, right? Vijayawada Developer Group Twitter handle, and our Twitter handle is also having almost 840 followers. So all the official information, confirmation, and announcements do happen through our official Twitter handle. Do follow our Twitter handle, and please make yourself updated with this handle. And moreover, since you are attending this session, we request you to tweet about this session, post about this session in the LinkedIn, have fun and build your network. The person who is in the session as a speaker, Alok, I met him, 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before, to be pretty much precise. Alok doesn't know me either. I knows Alok, but we met in a session and we build our network, and then we collaborated for this session. I have hunger to give this session to people where it is very useful. He literally gave a fantastic session 3 weeks ago. I attended a Bangalore event, Bangalore WIT event organized by Rupalika. It's an in-person event, and I felt it's a massive session, and everyone need to know, because he has a lot of knowledge. He did a lot of POCs. He have a lot of content to share. More than that, whatever the questions you have, he has an answer to it. So I believe this session will be very much helpful to you. And please do share about this session, tweet it, post it, have fun, and build your network. Feel free to use the chat window, right, to ask your questions. It would be great, if you don't interrupt the speaker while he is delivering the sessions, because he will the flow of the session will be missed, right? But we have a dedicated 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or even 1 hour. We can go up to a Q&A session once the delivery of session is done. So while posting or tweeting, do add the hashtags, hashtag ChatGPT, hashtag OpenAPI, and do tag Vijayawada _ SFDC, so that we will also get to know who are actively participating in our session. And it would be really helpful to you and helpful to us as a win-win situation. We all grow in this community. And our sponsor for this session is CloudBiz. I do work at this organization, and they always back up whenever we need any help. So we are very much grateful to our sponsor, CloudBiz. Uh, yeah, here we go. We have Alok. Alok is a Salesforce architect. He's having almost 10 plus years of experience. He is a 18x Salesforce certified. Also, he's a velocity developer, and more than that, he is a AML expert. That's why he is here for the OpenAI and ChatGPT session. Do connect with Alok using this LinkedIn, right? If you type /Alok, Kumar 494B1232, I'll also post it in chat window. Please do connect with LinkedIn. He's super active in LinkedIn, and also please do connect with him in Twitter as well. It's Alok Mishra 1991. I'm sorry, Alok, your age is revealing here, but
I need to change the Twitter.
it doesn't seems like that, but it's revealed. It gives us how much experience, how much knowledgeable you are. On a
Thank you.
funny note. Welcome, Alok. Thanks a lot for accepting our request. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to Vijayawada community, and it means a lot to our audience also. We are looking forward to your session. Over to you, Alok.
Sure. So thanks, Esha, for giving me this opportunity to come to this lovely group here. I'm seeing a lot of members are here. So I'll start with my session. I'm just seeing to. Okay, I'll just share my window. So let me know once you are able to see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Alok.
Sure. So as we were discussing, most of you have already explored what chat gpt is and how it works, right? But basically, if we go on a normal definition of chat gpt, so it's just a, you can say it's a chatbot basically. Okay, it's a normal chatbot, but it is being backed up by an AI. Okay, so what AI is doing, so or whatever the AI engine it is running on, it's called a GPT-3 engine. Okay, where whatever the inputs you are giving, chat gpt, basically the backend engine, it is consuming that input, processing, and then giving you a output. Okay, and in sometimes if it doesn't have any output, it learns from the other inputs, and then it prepares output, and then it gives. So on an average, if I tell that from a UI point of view, just a normal chatbot like what we have in our Salesforce as well, chatbots and all. But since it is being backed up by AI and ML, so that's where it is making it more special, because it is having answers to your question. Okay. Now, this is what normal chat gpt is, but how your chat gpt is working or how it is learning from the backend, that's the main concept. Because any machine, let's say if it is a laptop, any server, let's say even Salesforce as well, once you get the first your org, right? Salesforce house also doesn't have anything until unless you feed inputs into them or you build functionalities into them, right?
Alok, you are on mute.
You go. You know when you went to mute. Sorry.
Sorry, sorry, I don't somehow it went enter, sorry.
No.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I was telling that even ChatGPT is a kind of, you can say it's a child brain. Okay, it's a blank basically. So whatever you teach it, and then based on your teaching, ChatGPT is giving some output, and then based on those outputs, ChatGPT is receiving some input that whether your output is correct or it needs to be modified or something like that. Okay, like this, even ChatGPT is learning from itself. So in terms of machine learning concepts, it uses two concepts of machine learning. First is your supervised learning. So what supervised learning do, it basically where you are having some human or some person who is working in the backend. Again, it can be a developer or it's a architect, whoever is working in the backend. So what they do, they collect the informations, okay, and they feed to the chat gpt. That, for example, let's say we take an example that where let's say where is Delhi located. Okay, so some, for that, let's say initially the input was given as India. Okay, or okay, I'll take another example. Okay, so let's say we have we have an area called Indiranagar in Bangalore. Okay, so initially let's say someone has put that where is Indiranagar located, someone has put it as Bangalore. Okay, in the supervised learning, it learned that okay, this is called, hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Alok.
Sure,
Please go ahead.
sure, sure. Yeah. So basically, during the supervised learning phase of the chat GPT, someone has given the input that, for this question that where is Indiranagar located, the answer is Bangalore. Okay. But it, let's say someone has now second time asked the same question on chat GPT, it gave it as a Bangalore. But the person who has asked the question, he knows that it's not Bangalore, it's a Bengaluru. Okay. That's where your reinforced learning comes into picture, where you are telling that no, it's not Bangalore, it's Bengaluru. Okay, similarly, let's say it gave the same answer to, let's say, four other people, and based on the input from the four other end users, it is analyzing now that whether my output should be Bangalore or it should be Bengaluru. Accordingly, it is giving a rank to the answers. Okay, and that's where your reinforced learning comes into picture, where it is ranking the different answers for the same question, and at the end, based on that ranking, it is giving you more precise or more refined outcomes. Okay, so these two concepts of chat gpt is making it to learn from the end users as well as learn from the team who is working on the chat gpt. First concept of supervised learning, where people are giving input, and then again the reinforcement learning coming in, where it is learning from the end user. Okay, so combination of these two concepts of machine learning is making ChatGPT unique, and that's where it is learning by itself. Okay, so we were when we were discussing, one person asked like he had given some input, and after 2 days when he gave the same input, he got a result, right? So this is the concept what ChatGPT is using. Okay, because first time it didn't had the answer, but that input went to the ChatGPT team. Okay, and that's where they got to know that okay, for this input we don't have the answer still. That's where they gave another completion, or you can say another outcome. They basically, they did an analysis, they provided an outcome to the chat gpt engine in the backend, that okay, for this question this will be the answer, so that next time when someone is giving the input, he or she will get the output for that. Okay, so this is how your chat gpt is running in the backend. But if I say that chat gpt is just a small portion of what the complete offerings are present. Okay, so chat gpt is basically part of OpenAI. So what OpenAI is, it's an artificial intelligence laboratory from the US. Okay, they are working majorly on the providing some artificial intelligence functionalities which can be leveraged by people on their day-to-day life, where they can use them so that they can enhance their productivity and they can enhance their lifestyles and on the different areas. Okay, that's where your OpenAI was, with this intention basically OpenAI was built. Okay, and it was founded in 2015, December 2015, and some of its founders were like Sam Altman, Reid Hoffman, we have Jessica Livingston, Elon Musk was there. Okay, but then I think in 2018 he just took his chair and he went off. Okay, and I feel it was good only, because if he was there, he would have kept it on a paid mode, and then we will not be using the chat GPT on a free level. So this is the what other offerings what OpenAI is giving. Now, how we can explore the OpenAI first. Okay, so I'll show you how you can use OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI, since it is a free platform, okay, so if you want to use OpenAI, you can just go to openai.com, and there is something called API into it. Okay, so once you click on API, you have option to log in or sign up. So let's say if you're a first time user, you can just click on sign up, and then uh, you'll be having basically option to sign up with even your Google or your Microsoft account. So if you're having Gmail, you can do with the Gmail as well. Okay, here you have an option of either using Google or Microsoft account. So I did it earlier by using my Gmail, so I can show you that. So after that, once you can just log in. So this login is similar to what we have OpenID logins in Salesforce, right? You can do with the Google or other platforms. So this is how you can first create your account in OpenAI. Okay, now, so this is what we were discussing, what OpenAI is. Okay, and this is how you can create your own account in OpenAI. Okay, as soon as you create your account, it provides a personal space to you. Okay, all the OpenAI platform, it provides a personal space to you, where you can leverage some of the pre-existing engines which is being provided by the OpenAI, so that you can play around with it and you can build some of the other functionalities based on whatever your requirement is. Let's say if you are trying to build some sentiment analysis or some automated response bots or something like that, you can just explore how it's going to work. Okay, so I'll show you basically how you can leverage the what are the different parts of OpenAI it is having. Okay, so let's say if you want to use any API of the OpenAI. So as I was telling, ChatGPT is only the tip of icebergs. Okay, what other different APIs you are having is like you're having other API of image generation. You have like code completion. You have something called moderation. You can do the moderation of the text. You can generate the images. If you are not happy with the output of the chat gpt or basically whatever the engine is, if you're not happy with it, you can even do the fine tuning is like you can provide your own input and the completion, that for this input I'm expecting this completion. Okay, so that is called fine tuning. It's again a step by step process what you can do in the OpenAI, so that next time when you're giving the input, you will get output as per what you have given as a input. So basically as per how you have fine tuned it. Okay, so this is how we have this is what are the different APIs which is being provided by OpenAI, so that you can configure OpenAI into even Salesforce. Okay, now the integration between the OpenAI and Salesforce is very simple. Okay, how you can do the integration, that is a very simple process. The reason is because they wanted to keep it open, they wanted others as well to use it on their day-to-day basis, so they kept the integration also on a very simple note. So how integration happens is basically you on whenever you go to your profile in the OpenAI. So let's say first time you created your OpenAI profile. Now when you go to view APIs, okay, here you have something called a secret key. Okay, so this is the only point, or this is the only key by using which you can connect with the OpenAI. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just see couple of examples. Okay, how I have done the integration, how I'm using OpenAI in one of my use case, you can say. Okay, so let's say I'll take this use case later. So let's say I'm looking to build a kind of sentiment analysis. So in Salesforce, we know that we use chatter a lot for the communication with the agents, right? And if you have to find, so let's say there is a lead which is currently in your system, and you want to analyze that what is the current sentiment of the lead based on your inputs on the chatter. Okay, so for doing this type of sentiment analysis, you have another option as well, that is the Salesforce Einstein sentiment analysis. But again, it's going to be a paid one, right? So that will be a little bit costly. So I was just exploring this option, that if we can use the chat GPT or this particular text completion to do that type of sentiment analysis, and I was able to do it actually. So I'll just show you one example. So let's say I have this lead, okay, and on the post, let's say my the lead person is coming and is telling that let's say I'm not satisfied with your solutions. Okay, let's say I'm just giving a random, let's say, negative text. Okay, and if I click on share, so I'm just creating a feed comment. Okay, but what it is doing is it is creating a sentiment. So I just created an object called sentiment score. Okay, where based on that particular text, it has given me the sentiment that is out of 10. What is the sentiment of the agent who has or the user who has given that input, and what are the overall sentiments. So here, as you can see, I was able to capture that the sentiment was 1 and score was 1 and the sentiment was negative. Okay, so by using this, I can get a collaborative, or you can say a combined sentiment and the score for this particular lead. And let's say if it is going below a certain point, or let's say if it is going below 4, okay, then I can do an auto triggering, or I can make this lead as a priority or something like that. I can notify the agent that this needs to be looked first, something like that. Okay, so this is one of the use case. But how I did this integration? Okay, so for doing this integration, I'll show you the code actually in the backend how it was happening. Let me see if I have that. Okay, yeah. So I have. So I've just used I just created a trigger, and then there is a handler class of that particular trigger. Okay, I'll just increase the size. Okay, now here if you see, what I'm doing is I'm doing an integration call out to the to one of the endpoints of the OpenAI. Okay, now how I can get this endpoint? So this is a completion endpoint. If you see the completion, so on the API side, OpenAI is already giving the completion endpoint. So what completion endpoint do is, based on your input, whatever input you are giving, it will give you a complete outcome of your input. It is similar to ChatGPT. Okay, if you see in the backend, it is again running on the same, almost the same engine which ChatGPT is running on. ChatGPT is basically running on GPT-3 engine, and this particular completion is running on Text DaVinci 003 engine. Okay, in the backend. So, and going forward, OpenAI also planning to build in GPT-3 engine into your text completion. So the same thing what ChatGPT is doing, even you can do from your Salesforce directly. Okay, so here what I had done is I had just created one HTTP request with a post. Now, first thing is we need to authorize, right? So for authorization, as I was telling, in in OpenAI, the authorization is very simple. It's just by using a secret key. Okay, so you can just create your own, create a new, let's say, secret key. Okay, this is the secret key. Let's say it has been created. You can just copy this. So this will be your secret key which you will use in the integration. Along with this, there is something called OpenAI organization. And why OpenAI organization is required? Because it's an open platform, right? For each and every user, they're giving a free space. Okay, so any user who is doing call out to this OpenAI platform, or who is running the Text DaVinci engine in the backend, okay, system should know that which particular user have done it, right? Because otherwise it will not be able to give a fine-tuned response to your input. That's where your um, org ID or org name basically comes into picture. OpenAI organization name, this comes into picture, where it is specifying that for which particular user I need to run the engine and I need to provide the response. Okay, now how I can get this? Let me just, okay, yeah. So for getting this, you can just go on the settings, and then here only, same on the profile level, you can just go to settings, and then there's something called organization ID. This will be specific to per person. Okay, and this is your identifier. It is similar to your Salesforce DevOps, right? Your each DevOps are having different sandbox, or the org ID. This is again a environment ID, by using which it is discriminating that for which user I have to give the response. Okay, now, so what I have done, For authorization, I'm using the key which I had generated there, and then also in header I am passing organization ID. Okay. Next is, because since it's a post request, so next what I'm doing is I need to provide the model on which it is going to run. So model is nothing but the engine. Okay, the engine which will process my request and it will give me the response. Okay, so I'm currently specifying it. It's the text DaVinci 003. This is the out of the box engine which has been provided by OpenAI. But let's say if you want to create your own engine, that feature is also available. You can create your own engine, you can fine tune it, and you can use that particular engine into your requests. Okay, so instead of giving text DaVinci, you can create your own engine and you can give that engine's name. And then there is something called prompt. So prompt is basically what you are giving as an input. Okay, and then there are certain other optional parameters like max token, temperature, and some other optional parameters are there. If you want to have a look on that, so you can just go to create completion. Okay, here you will be getting all the other optional parameters with the examples. So I mean, you can just have a look based on your requirement if you want to use any of these parameters. Okay, like you have top and you have stream, long props, and other different parameters are there. Okay, so I'm just using this text completion. Okay, end point is text completion. I'm giving the authorization part, and then I'm giving the prompt that what I want to, what response I want to receive. Basically, what my input is. Okay, so if you see here, what I have given is, this is my text to analyze. Okay, so I have given something like, tell me sentiments of the following text, whether it's negative, positive, or neutral. Also rank from 1 to 10, where 1 being the negative and the text is, and here I am passing the body what user has entered into the chatter. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I am telling uh the completion endpoint that this is my input and this is what I want you to do. Okay, that is, I want you to analyze and give me the sentiment as well as give me the ranking. Okay, based on my input, what I'm giving text to analyze in the post request, it is giving me certain output. Okay, and then I'm just parsing that output and using it into my Salesforce. I'm just storing on the user, storing on my Salesforce org. Okay, so where I'm getting the sentiment score. And again, further, if you want to show the complete thing on your lead page, you can just create an LWC component, a fancy LWC, and you can show scores, or you can show the trending behavior, something like that. You can definitely build on it. So this is a basic what I have built. You can build on top of based on your requirements. Okay, so this was one of the use case which I was working on, that is a sentiment analysis. Okay, similarly, we have something called I would say we have something called text completion. So let's say if you want to create a system where a user, let's say if any user is there, and let's say this, we'll take the same case. Okay, that let's say a user is giving input as, I'm not satisfied with your solution, it doesn't make sense. Okay, now you can even use ChatGPT to provide some auto response based on this particular text. Okay, that is again going to be in a text completion. So how we can do that? So let's say I'm just copying this text and I'll ask ChatGPT that write a user friendly reply for the text this. Okay, and see, it is giving so the ChatGPT just analyzed your text. Okay, and then it has provided you an output that this could be a possible response which you can give. Now so here I'm just showing it on the UI. Again, you can even automate this, that once you receive the response, you can just create a feed comment record with this particular text, or you can send an email with this particular text to the to the user. Okay, so the different use case scenario. So this is also one of the use case which you can use to provide response automatically, so that again your agent's interaction or the human interaction can be minimized here. Okay, so this is also one of the use case, and here again in this also I'm using the same text completion. Okay, So as you can see with this one endpoint, I have already, I was able to build two use cases. Similarly, different with the using different endpoints, you can build multiple use cases. You can build multiple, analysis, or let's say the auto response, or other stuffs as well. If you want to write some emails, auto generated emails based on the inputs, you can do that. Okay, and you can just automate in the Salesforce, so that it can basically reduce your human interaction, where let's say your support agents are majorly uh, involved into these types of responses. Instead of doing the enhancements or something, they are majorly occupied into these types of queries. So you can automate that. These queries will be automatically answered, and your developers can focus on other stuffs, or other important functionalities they can focus on. Okay, so these were two use cases which I was trying to build on OpenAI. Okay, now we can talk about what is fine tuning. So till now we have seen that what is out of the box capability provided by OpenAI, where it is having its own engine and it is giving you the response based on your input. But let's say if you are not happy with whatever the output is coming out, okay, or if you want to manipulate those outputs, okay, that's where your fine tuning comes into picture. Okay, so what fine tuning do is that, let's say if I'm giving an input that where is Indranagar located, just an example, okay, and I'm getting responses Bangalore, but I'm thinking that it's not a Bangalore, it's a Bengaluru. Okay, that's where I can fine tune my current engine to give me a response as Bangalore instead of giving me as Bangalore. Okay, that is called fine tuning, where you are teaching the current engine that this is what the proper output should be instead of what you are giving. Okay, now here the first part is we create the file. Basically your so the file contains your prompt is basically what user will give as an input, and completion will be what the expected outcome user will get. Okay, that will be your file. So first what we do is we create a file. Okay, file will be on a JSON-L format. JSON-L, it's a JSON light. Okay, JSON light format, and then we upload this file to OpenAI. So how you can upload it is by using again files endpoint. Okay, so there is a files endpoint where by using this so this is a getting list of files. Similarly, you have something called upload files. Okay, so by using this endpoint you can upload your file which you have created for the fine tuning. Okay, so once you upload it, this will go and sit on your server until unless your fine tuning is not done. Okay, so once your fine tuning is done, this file will be removed from the OpenAI platform, or if you want to remove it manually, you can do that as well. Okay, the only current limitation is it is having a size up, I mean the upper limit up to 1 GB. But if you're talking about 1 GB, 1 GB will contain millions of inputs, right? So this is where your second steps comes into picture, where you basic first is you create your file in the JSON-L format, and then second is you upload it to uh, OpenAI. Okay, I have not I think the second step I have missed, but yeah, you can upload the file to OpenAI by using this files endpoint. Okay, next is you're creating your own fine-tuned model. Okay, so how you can do a fine tuning. Okay, so fine tune model, again it is when you want to do a fine tune, the endpoint becomes OpenAI v1 slash fine tunes. Okay, and then in the fine tunes you need to first specify that which training file you are going to use. So what happens is, as soon as you upload the file, it gives you a file ID. Okay, now in the request of the fine tuning, you can give the ID of the file which you have uploaded, telling the system that I want to use this file to do the training. Okay, next is which model basically you want to train. Okay, so basically so let's say if you want to train an existing model, that is your text DaVinci 003, you can just give that particular model name. Okay, that is DaVinci uh, to fine tune it. Basically it will ask the model which you want to fine tune with your file which you have uploaded in the OpenAI. Okay, if you have some other models as well, so you can use that model as well. You can create your own model. Let me just see if we have, yeah, So you have an option to create your own model as well. Okay, I need to see. Okay. Okay, since this is a free version, basically what happens is, see, if I tell fine tuning is something which comes under little bit of paid program of OpenAI, because this is something additional load you are putting on the server. Okay, so that's why creation of model is not coming here because it's a free version. But if you have a paid version, you can definitely have a create model as well. So as soon as you create a model, you will get a model ID, something like this. Okay, or whatever the model name you are giving, it will give you a model ID. Okay, and then during the fine tuning, you can basically use your training file along with the model ID, and you can just start training. So this is something so there is a terminal of OpenAI you can use, with you can use that, um, or you can just use a post request from the postman, and then you can start training. So once you use this command, that is OpenAI AI, that fine tunes dot create dash t, after t it will be your file path or the ID. Okay, and then followed by the base model, which base model basically you want to train with the this file. Okay, and then it will start the process automatically in between and in the backend basically. And as soon as your processing is done, all the fine tuning is done. Okay, you can basically see that on the command prompt as well as you can I think you can just check once your fine tuning is done, you get a response, a success response. Okay, so by getting that response, you'll get to know that okay, the system has already completed the fine tuning. Now again, the fine tuning, the time taken by fine tuning is depending on your file size. Okay, so if you have, let's say, thousands or millions of data into your JSON-L file, then it might take hours as well to do the fine tuning. But once it is done, then your system will be ready to give the answer as per your analysis or as per your requirement. Instead of the basic answer, it can give you the answer what you are looking for. Okay, and then you can further fine tune based on your business models. So this is the concept of fine tuning of open AI model, where you can teach the engine that I am not liking this output what you are giving me out of the box. I want this output to be given to me. Okay, then accordingly the model can train itself based on the file, and then it can give you the output of whatever you are looking for. Okay, so yep, I think that's all I had from the OpenAI standpoint, where I just tried to cover what OpenAI is, how it is running in backend, and how you can do the integration as well with the Salesforce. Because see, even I'm a Salesforce developer, so I try to utilize how much OpenAI I can use in Salesforce so that I can reduce my workload. So with and how you can do the fine tuning. So yep, I think yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Anyone having any questions?
Yeah, this is a great demo and use cases. Look, we have few questions in the chat window. I'll read out for you.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so a question from Chinna. I'm thinking there is a chance to mislead the machine through fine tuning. So,
Okay,
so
so
what's your
so basically, see, you whatever the fine tuning you do, right? See, that's what I said, right? Machine is giving you output based on what you are giving it as input. Okay, if you want someone to mislead you, definitely you can give that input, and it is going to mislead you, right? But what happens is, see, if you're using the out of the box models like your text da vinci and all. Okay, so it takes your input as well as it analyze whatever the other inputs it is having. So let's say one person is telling that Indranagar is situated in Delhi, and let's say 10% are telling that Indranagar is situated in Bangalore, so automatically output will come as a Bangalore, right?
right?
But if you're using your own model and you're teaching that model wrong, then obviously you will get wrong answer into that.
Perfect. Yeah. I hope Chinna got the answer. It's a funky question. Yeah. So there is a question from Juni Kumari. Can you explain more on engines?
See, engines, if I say engine is something, or if I say engine is something, the back end of any, any software or any AI, if I say. So you can consider engine as something called code what we write in Salesforce. Okay. So for example, this is my UI. Okay. I am giving some input here. Okay. I have an LWC in backend, and in LWC I have an Apex in backend, which is taking this request and doing the processing and giving me output what I am seeing here, right? So your engine here is your LWC and Apex in backend. So engine is nothing but it is the system which is taking your input and doing the processing. Okay. I hope I was able to relate this with Salesforce. So this is what basically engines do. It takes your input, analyze based on whatever the different input it is already having or whatever its capacity is, and then it gives you an output. Okay. So like in LWC also you have lightning data service, right? So you can use that capability as well. So that's where LWC is your engine, and then you can use the different capabilities of the that particular engine to provide you a better output. Okay. So this is what even the engine in common terms to any AI platform or any machine learning as well.
Alok, just a follow-up question. Like when you were showing the document, I saw there were 3 or 4 engines. So
Hmm.
those pre-built engines, they're specific to a certain use cases, like DaVinci, I saw,
uh
and
yeah,
Rabbit.
I mean, see, usually your uh, see these engines like text da vinci and all, right? So yeah, for text completion related requirements, your text da vinci is used. Similarly, for let's say file generation, like we have this file generation as well, right? So for file generation as well, you have a different endpoint, different models or different engines which is running into backend. So yeah, again, it depends on what type of functionality you want to do. You can use different types of models. So if you want to see how what different models are, right? So there is an good documentation even the OpenAI is providing, that what are the different types of uh, you know uh, so basically, for example, like you had this text baggage and you have text da vinci. So it is giving you like till what time it is trained. So let's say your text baggage is only trained up to 2019, right? And then your text da vinci's use 3 is being used up to 2021. Okay. So if you are looking for some very much recent data like up to 2021, you can go for text da vinci. But if you're looking for some request, or some information which is there from long time, let's say 90s or 2000 or something, then obviously you can go on the text baggage 001. Okay. So again, it depends on what type of information you're looking for. You can use different models into it.
Thanks, Alok. Made sense.
Sure.
Yeah, we have few more questions in the chat window, Alok. I'll
Yeah.
complete them.
Yeah.
Post that, we can take up questions from the audience who would like to unmute themselves.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but for LWC, does OpenAI pass through from the Lightning Locker? This is a question from Puneet.
By using Fetch API, I mean, honestly speaking, I have not tried it, but I think, yeah, by using Fetch API, it should be able to, because I mean,
Yeah. So, Alok, why I'm asking, because what I was trying to some implementation for YouTube API with the Lightning, okay,
mhm,
LWC, and YouTube is also open API, right? So we're not passing through this Lightning locker. That's the reason I
Oh,
asked.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I never tried it earlier, but yeah, I mean, that's something which even I can explore and get back to you on that. But
Okay.
because, yeah, I mean, local services again, it is having its own security related
Yeah,
information,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's where it might be blocking it. Okay.
Okay.
And that is where, see, actually these types of what happens is, see, we can use even your text completion, you can do fine tuning and all, but it is always recommend, because see, these are open platforms, right? You don't want to put a confidential data into it, right? Let's say financial informations and all, you don't want to put into it. So that's where you try to keep it on the financial information up only to yourself. You don't want any third party to know it.
Okay.
So this is the same concept of locker, and that's why I think even locker is trying to stop it from the LWC directly.
Yeah. So then what I did, then I create the Visual Force page. Through Visual Force page,
uh,
I call the YouTube API, then it was working. So I'm not
yeah.
how it will work here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's a good approach. And I can try that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like Saurabh is having a question. He's raising his hand. Saurabh,
Yeah.
maybe you can unmute and ask if you would like to. or maybe it's accidental.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Sir, feel free. Yeah, I'll ask another question. Can you show us how you trained the model at OpenAI by Srikanth?
Sorry. Trying on model API means I didn't get
Maybe
that.
he's talking about fine tuning.
Okay. See, actually, if I tell fine tuning cannot be done from Salesforce directly. Okay. The first and foremost reason is in Salesforce you cannot create a JSON-L file. Okay. So because JSON Lite is a different format, because in JSON-L if you create it comes in a form of array, but JSON Lite is not an array format. It's a object by object format. So usually to do any fine tuning we use Python, because if you see they have already provided a lot of Python enabled code. So by using the Python codes you can directly do the fine tuning. Okay, but not by, I mean, not by using the Salesforce. And as you know, right, Salesforce is having its own limitation of number of size, I mean the storage capacity for file creation, and also instead of that it's always recommended to use the open backend languages what you have, like you have Python, I think you have Node.js also, you can just try using it. So these types of technology you can use. But yeah, as I was telling, right, by using the Salesforce function you can connect this with the Salesforce, that whatever your feed comments are there, right, you can pick it on the fly, send to your Python backend, and then create a JSON-L file there, do the fine tuning. So those types of things you can do.
Right. Yeah. Uh, so one more question. So it's not a question; it's a compliment. Mayank is telling a next session motivated me to build integration. That's
Sure,
correct, Mayank.
sure, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. There is one big question from Aman. Maybe you can unmute and ask that question, Aman.
I mean, that's not a big question, but a series of questions. So the first question was,
Right.
can you please share the OpenAI and ChatGPT link? Um, and I was just curious to know, like, how does that sentimental score was generated? I mean, you said that it's generating one, and I mean, how the range is decided by the ChatGPT.
So yeah, so that range is basically, so what happens is, what I have done there is I'm just giving a text input. Okay, and since your text Da Vinci is already fine tuned up to 2021 data, right, so it is having certain idea that for these types of text what could be the analysis, what is the sentiment, or what can be the if I say in the terms of numbering, or what numbering I should provide. Okay, that's where I was actually utilizing that capability of text completion by passing that. So what I was doing, I was giving an instruction to that particular engine, that I don't want everything, I just want these specific information to be extracted from this particular text. So like if I show you, let me just quickly show that. So I hope you can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So if you see here, what I am giving input from myself, it myself only, that I want to know whether it's going to be negative, positive, or neutral. Okay. Similarly, you can give here plus, minus, or some other as well. Okay. And then based on that, it will give you a response. Also, have asked them to rank it basically from 1 to 10, where I am only telling that what one should be. Okay, like one should be the most negative. So basically what it is doing is, it is having in backend, it is having its own certain criteria based on whatever the earlier inputs it is having, that for this type of text it is going to be most negative, or the sentiment basically for this particular text is a very negative, the person is in very anger state or something like that. Okay, and then accordingly it is ranking. So from my side I just need to give an input that, okay, just give me ranking from 1 to 10, and automatically based on whatever the comment is there, it is analyzing what is the current mindset of the person who has written this. Is more of, I would say, because
Mhm.
see, chat gpt is even working on the psychology side. It's not only the code or something, right? It is
Mhm.
giving you output of everything. So there are certain I would say prompt in the backend which is helping the engine to do a psychological analysis as well, up, up to a certain extent, not a complete analysis, but yeah, up to a certain extent it can do a psychological analysis as well. It is similar to, like, if you go to any psychologist, right, what it do, it asks
Yeah.
you certain questions, right, and then based on that it gives like how you are feeling. Same thing this model is also doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was asking you because I was building something similar to this, but this is not Chat GPT. I was building a Python chatbot,
Uh-huh.
and as you said, that negative scoring and all, because somewhat similar, I built the knowledge article, and then I was passing out like based on this keywords. This all the knowledge article should be FAQ should be provided on the instant chatbot. So I thought, how is it working? So now I understood, as you said in the beginning, right? Based on the data that you feed, it
Mhm.
keeps on processing it, and then it will give you these scores and all. Am I correct
Right,
in
right. Definitely, yeah. It working on that's your refinement logic of the machine learning. What it do?
Mhm. And also, you were mentioning about something, right? You can generate your own engine, something.
Yeah. So that is something called a model you can generate. But
Mm.
since I mean it was my on a free version, right? So I don't have that capacity. But if you go on a paid version of ChatGPT, right? So it's basically you have that option that you can create your own models, okay, specific to your business unit or specific to your company. You can create your own models and you can train those models by using fine tuning. So that feasibility is there, but it's coming on the pricing side. Yeah, because
Okay.
because OpenAI also they have to run on certain budget side. They don't have budget.
Mhm. Yeah, and even they're very costly. I was just going through the pricing or even
Yeah,
ChatGPT. So if I want to generate my own engine, I have to use a paid version. That's it.
yeah, you have to upgrade to a paid version.
And do you have any links or docs? How can I integrate ChatGPT with Salesforce? I mean, apart.
I have actually I had created one YouTube video on this. So if you want, I can share that video with you
Yeah,
where
sure.
where I was doing this integration with the OpenAI. Let me just quickly grab that link.
Please do a look. Share it in the
Sure,
chat window. It would be really helpful
sure.
for us.
Sure. Let me just quickly see where it is. Yeah, yeah. So I just pasted a link. So in this video, in this actually, I was using the moderation part, but instead of that, you can just use the um, text completion API.
Got it.
Yeah. So in addition to that question, so can you share the code repository? Is the one asking by Puneet. So
Code
maybe.
code
Mhm.
repository. Maybe what I can do, I'll share you the class which I have. Maybe uh, Shisha, I'll share it to you, and you can just share across. Okay.
Sure, sure. Or else you can put it in chat window also. If
Let
people
me.
are
Yeah. Just let
in
me
the
see.
window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just put the HTTP part. Okay.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same code you're using in the video, YouTube video as well. Sorry for that main code.
No, actually, YouTube video, that was the initial one. I was
Mhm.
I was actually playing around the moderation part, so it was more on the moderation side.
Okay.
But
Makes
this is a text completion one. So text completion, I would say, see, text completion is something which is more more useful than the moderation.
okay. Makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Veer is telling that this is a wonderful session. Pooja Sharma is also applauding with a very helpful demo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, I mean,
Same from Juni.
to learn.
One
Uh,
question from Murthy Babu. Yes, Alok. Telling something.
Sesha, actually, this whole code I cannot put it in the chat. I think the chat is having its own limit, number of text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make it 50-50% if there is a possibility, or
Yeah,
else,
yeah, yeah. Just 1 second, I'll try on that. Uh,
yeah. Because it's a bit difficult to identify the attendees and share it across.
right. It is. It becomes a little bit difficult on that side. One-
Right, right.
And then, yeah. So I'll share till response, and then further, I think you can process.
Yes.
You can just.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. So can we go back to our questions, Alok?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there is one question from Murthy Babu.
Mhm.
How the chat GPT analyze the data, whether it is correct or not?
See, that's what. So see, basically, ChatGPT, what it do is whatever the input you are giving. Okay. So whatever the input initially, let's say the teacher of ChatGPT has given, it starts giving out that as an output. Okay. And then once you give the output, the end user will also tell that no, this is not the correct one. This should be the correct one, right? So based on that also, so what it do is it will take the teacher's input, it will take the end user's input, and then it will analyze that which is having the higher ranking. So basically, let's say four people are telling that this is the correct answer, and teacher is telling that uh, answer two is correct. Okay, so since four people are telling that answer one is correct, the engine is automatically ranking it on a higher rank. Okay, so that next time when someone will ask that what is the answer for this, so it will give you the answer which is having higher rank. It will not neglect the complete answer, but it will just provide you the fine tune, or it will give you a finest answer based on the ranking it is doing in the backend for each and every answer for one question.
Right. Yeah. So there is one question from Gopi. It's a more of career-oriented question.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, sir. I have 1.8 years of experience as a Salesforce developer.
Mhm.
I would like to do masters in USA fall 23. After master, I would like to start my career in ARML.
Mhm.
I'm open to take suggestions. Is there any is anything sync with Salesforce I can prepare myself to learn?
See, I mean, in terms of Salesforce, if I say, right, so see, basically, Salesforce is your separate platform. Your machine learning is a separate concept, right? But since, as you know, that even Salesforce is creating some other the functionalities based on the data science or some of the machine learnings, right? Even if you also want to try that, you can do it. Like you can, let's say, create some platform which is running on AI and basically machine learning side, and then you can integrate that with the Salesforce and giving that as another add-on functionality, right? Because whatever you do on Salesforce, that's a platform, and according to Salesforce capability you are doing it. Okay, but as I was telling, if you want to leverage the Salesforce functions and other these types of technology where you can combine the two languages or two platforms together, then definitely your machine learning and all will be a it will be a great advantage on that. And what I see going forward, ev- things are going to get smarter. Your machines are always going to get smarter, so machine learning is definitely something which not you only you, but others, everyone should start looking into, at least have some idea on that how it is working in backend.
Right. Yeah. I hope this helps you, Gopi. Question from Saurabh. Do we have entirely dependencies with OpenAI stuff for Salesforce Cloud?
Dependency in terms like uh, I mean,
Yeah, probably there is no dependency,
yeah.
honestly, answer. But we have Einstein GPT. Maybe you can enlighten something on that. I know
Right,
it's not.
right. I mean, yeah, I mean that is also actually something which I am also eagerly waiting for. I think in the March TDX they are going to announce about the Einstein GPT as well. So see, basically that's what I'm telling you. What they have done is they know that there is something called ChatGPT which is running on an overall global platform. Okay, now they have taken that concept and they know their Salesforce platform. They have combined the two concepts and they have built a better product which is going to come as an Einstein GPT. What I feel. Okay, so they are basically combining the power of Salesforce along with your OpenAI models or ChatGPT backend machine learnings, and then they are going to provide a more better user experience or more better outputs. So that's what I feel that Einstein GPT is also going to do.
Yeah, hopefully it will be a successful, not as
Yeah.
the Google one.
No, Bard was a. But see, actually, if I see right, this is basically this is an era of what your AI competition has already started, right? Bard is something which is again I would say it's a tip of iceberg from the Google side. Google is majorly working on the Sparrow. If you have known that, right? Sparrow, they have working almost, you can say, from 4 5 years. And hopefully if they're going to launch Sparrow, and let's say 50% also they are making it as on a free version, it will be a very tough competition for ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is having data, let's say 2021 or till that time. Google is having all your data. So they can build a more better engine on that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, so there is a. I think ERV is raising the hand from a long time. Feel free to unmute yourself, ERV.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Alok. Thank you, Cesar, for the wonderful session.
Thank you.
Actually, I am a learner. I'm doing job as a Salesforce developer, but day to day, I'm learning new things. So,
Mhm.
since like 1 or 2 months ago, I've started using ChatGPT. So, is
Mhm.
it a good habit to use ChatGPT constantly, or
uh
do I need to focus on learning?
See, I would say whatever. I mean, if you're using Chat GPT, it's good for your productivity increase. Okay. But there is something called, using it and relying on it. Okay. So don't get totally rely on it. Okay. Get the input. Okay. Try to analyze from your side as, because see, if I give you a very basic example, when I was just exploring the Chat GPT, okay, I just gave an input that, give me a code for endpoint integration, and give me an input for, give me an out code for integration whenever account is getting created. Okay. Chat GPT gave everything, the endpoint, HTTP and everything. And the one basic mistake what it did, it directly called the endpoint from the trigger. If you try to use
Yeah,
this, it's gonna fail because you cannot do directly from trigger any call out, right? So that's where, take that output, analyze it, and so it will be your learning as well as you will be able to make it in a more better way, right? So that's where, don't rely on it completely. Take it as your support, use it, but yeah, don't totally go on that that I'll only use
no,
chat.
no, no, no. That's right. Actually, I'm not completely relied on it, but just to suppose that if I got relied on it, so what will be the response? Like, what will
See,
happen?
I'll tell you one of the very frequently issues which you will face. Once you start on a company, right? Company gives their own laptops, okay, which run on
Yes,
a VPN. If you have to use
that's
ChatGPT,
correct. Yeah.
you have to use your Google account to log in. That you cannot access from your client laptops. So if you cannot access your Google account from client laptop, you cannot log into ChatGPT and you cannot use it.
Right.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you for the answer.
Sure.
Yeah. In addition to it, even I have a view, Lok,
Yeah.
uh, at the end of the day, we all are humans and we build that, and we might build something else also, which is even more intelligent than that.
Right.
The authenticity of us, should not be, lost, and relying, or maybe relying could be a wrong word. Even dependency on ChatGPT,
Right.
I don't prefer, because our own muscle power is
Yeah.
something which drives us, right? Right. So muscle power, brain power, whatever the terminologies we call it as, that should be at the top than the chat GPT. And yes, you can rely on the information source, you can rely on maybe as a productivity tool, but not
Right.
beyond that is something I say.
Right. Right. See, till the time your brain is working, you are human. Till
Right.
the, once your brain will stop working, you will be in a different category.
Right.
Actually, I was completely working on my own, but
Yeah.
I got suggestion from one of my seniors. So they told me that if you are saving your time to do use your productivity on ChatGPT or any search engine where you can get the solution for your problem, so it's good to save your time. So that's why I'm asking the same.
Yeah. No. No.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's completely
saving is definitely, it's a good thing if you are saving the time and invest that time to do another learning.
right.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Uh,
correct.
Hi,
Hello, Kumar.
Hi, Kumar.
hi. Actually, one doubt I have. Actually, as we know that OpenAI now how is ruling the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in future, in our Salesforce itself, do we have something called similar to OpenAI? One thing. Second, since we know that most of this AI tool, whether it's data science, whether it's Chat GPT, whether it's OpenAI, or you can say blockchaining,
Mm-hmm.
most of their the the backend language is Python, right? Or
Right.
maybe R.
Hmm.
So it's what I personally feel that as a Salesforce, what are the upcoming things they will come up in future so that they can compete with them? Because what I feel that most of this upcoming future technologies, these two languages were the most backend stack, I would say.
Right. I mean, yeah, see, even I agree on that because your Python is something which they, which they majorly process when you are working on any kind of server side, because Python can handle large amount of data, heavy loads it can handle, right?
Exactly. Mhm.
Now, see, if I tell in terms of Salesforce, right? So this is my personal opinion that Salesforce plays actually very smartly into all these things, because as you were telling, right, that chat gpt is already there, people are using it. So what Salesforce has done, it has acquired that, not acquired, but it has used that functionality, and now it is going to launch Einstein gpt, right, which will be more of your. So see, this how they play is, let's say there's some functionality came in, okay, they will make it compatible with the Salesforce, and now they will go to client that I am giving you this, okay, along with this I have one more product feature. Now here you can save your time on integration and validation and other stuff, because that is being taken care by Salesforce, right?
Mhm.
So if any third person is giving you some product and he's telling that I'll take care of all the services and all, you will definitely go for it, right? Instead of taking product from one person, taking another product from another person, combining it, and at the end something, some issue comes, you will be confused that I have to go to which vendor, I have to go to vendor one or vendor two, who will solve it. So
All right.
that's where I think that Salesforce basically play very smartly in these things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Actually, fine. Actually, previously, what I used to thought when this new Chat GPT come, actually, I used to track all the latest information about Salesforce, about every other stack. So once in a while, even I was in a doubt that what is the future of Salesforce, whether it's stay or whether it's Python and all this will overtake all this stuff.
And one more thing, if I tell, right, see, that's
Mhm.
where, because when Salesforce was knowing that okay, Apex is not going to solve everything or JavaScript is not going to solve everything, they
Uh-huh.
introduced Salesforce functions. They said, okay, you have Python, you run Python on Salesforce. If you have Node.js, you run Node.js on Salesforce. I don't mind. You use Salesforce function and connect the two.
Is there any way we can use Python on Salesforce?
Yes, by using that's what I mean. The Salesforce functions capability of Salesforce, you can run any different platform language into Salesforce along with Salesforce.
Do you have any document or any video or any tailhead link on it where at least I can try all the stuff by my own?
I can see. Let me see if I have that Salesforce functions link. There's actually Salesforce official link which they have given for this.
Mhm.
Let me just see if I have. Yeah.
I just
Right.
check out all this, and if I really find out any cool thing, I will post on my YouTube channel
Sure,
also.
sure, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So I just pasted one link. This is, I
Uh,
think, a official Salesforce website for Salesforce functions.
let's see.
Yeah.
Let's
Even
see.
I did one more from the Salesforce. Okay, I'll complete. There are two, three questions from the chat window. I'll complete them. Then we can get into the
Mm.
verbal questions. So Rohit is asking that Lightning Locker not supported this year, right? Alok?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So that's where your direct from LWC direct call out. I don't think so possible, but that's where your Apex is again coming into picture.
Yeah. There is a question from Saurabh.
Mm.
How is it going to affect Salesforce working design models or architecture or architecture?
See, I mean, again, see, when we talk about the Salesforce architecture, right? Salesforce architecture is altogether, it's a different game, right? Because it not only about the platform specific or any code specific, okay? It's all about how you can maximize your utility of Salesforce with the different products. So I don't, I mean, see, this is something you can say it's going to be helpful, that let's say if someone is trying to build some framework or trying to get some ideas, that's where ChatGPT can help. That okay, let's say, because see, there are so many offerings from Salesforce, people don't recollect everything every time, right? So if they want to refer that, okay, what are some of the key features of financial cloud, or what are some of the key features of velocity, so that in that way it can be more helpful to get idea on a faster basis. It's basically, I would say, it's going to fast track your productivity even on the architectural side. But yeah, for architecture, it's altogether, I would say, it's a altogether different game.
Right. Perfect. So one, not a question, but just a thought from ERV. I just wish to know about Jason, but I got the answer. But anything more there to share, then please share.
Hi. Actually, just one more thing.
Mhm.
Since last 1.5 months, I'm exploring CRM. Okay.
Mhm.
One thing I find out that mostly Einstein is working on stick to few objects like opportunities, leads. It's what I feel personally is that is Einstein mostly on sales side, service side is not. Is it?
Uh, yeah, I mean, if we tell on that side, yeah, see, basically, again, Einstein, if I say it's again a productivity tool, what they have given, and
Mhm.
people are majorly using on the sales sides. That's why we see only the sales part. But yeah, it is because it can also be used on the service side as well, where you have your case managements and other stuffs, right? It can be used, but yeah, I mean, majorly people are using on the sales side, so that's why that part is being more visible.
Actually, I also asked Trailhead support team that you have any good Trailhead modules where Einstein are using Service Cloud specifically in the case only. So even they don't have any answer for that. They were like, no, you need to raise a case and everything. So I asked.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
there
mean,
is. Yeah, I'm
yes,
sorry.
Isha. Yes, Isha.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there is something in the chatbot. If you can see Kumar, right? Uh, I mean, I would like to confirm few things on the Einstein AI part. That's a product of Salesforce. Maybe after I'll stop the recording at the last and I'll share you some hard realities of Einstein AI, because I worked with Einstein AI for multiple projects in my organization, and a few things are not worked well. Given feedback to the direct product managers and product directors.
Mhm.
I'll share you some insights maybe after. I'll stop the recording and share. Not at the time of recording.
Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. I'll go back to my questions. So yeah, it's not. I mean, to get back to the ERV question, I think Jason. Yes, ERV. Maybe if you know Jason, you would have done some wonders. Hopefully, we'll learn and do some wonders.
Yeah.
Rohit Kumar, it's not based on the psychological. It's totally based on the. Yeah, so this just is confirming. Yeah, I think we are good with the questions. I'm just cross verifying once again. Yeah, there are a lot of applause to you, Alok. Do
Thank you.
visit the chat window.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I mean, yeah, people are taking it in a more positive way. So, yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for that.
Yeah, so Rohit is giving one suggestion. Additionally, SMTC will be able to integrate Adobe AI with a Plus network in the future. Wow,
That's,
that's a good
yeah.
insight. Thank you, Rohit. Saurabh is having a one punk in the chat. ChatGPT might provide learning capabilities like Doctor Strange used to have with Greenstone. This is interesting. Save time to learn and use OpenAI. That's a good one. Puneet, when is the next session? So, Puneet, at the initial stage of the session, I have told that Vijayawada community is collaborating with Bangalore community. So, Vijayawada Developer Group and Admin Group is collaborating with few groups of Bangalore. We are doing some in-person event, and you will be hearing it out very soon. We are organizing that sometime in the 3rd or 4th week of March. Considering April and May, there are some huge events like uh, Architect Summit, and there is a India Dreaming, right? So we are trying to organize at the 3rd or 4th week of March. You will hear out, Puneet, if we are connected through social handles, I'll definitely share it. Yeah. Yes, Manikanta, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Shisha. So I just followed a question to Kumar. Maybe like he asked it, but I did not get the proper answer. So this is regarding when we talk about the like latest technologies, right? For example, we had if we talk about frameworks, we had initially we had Aura and we have LWC now. So the issue which I faced now, I'm attending the interviews, and they are asking about the integration and all stuff, right? So this I did not explore it before. So if I had known this before only, right? So I would have explored more on this. I was in inline during this time, but this is the issue I was facing. So my question is, like, what is the future? Like, what are the other technologies we need to learn, so that we should be in line with the Salesforce technology, latest stuff, right? So, for example, now, right, like what we need to focus more on.
See, I mean, to be more precise on this, right? So, since see, basically Salesforce is also evolving based on, I mean, time to time. Because if you see
Yeah,
earlier, we had Visual Force page; it was completely server side UI. Then,
yeah,
based as the technology grew, they came on the Aura. Now they came on the LWC. I see that. See, at least for next 3 to 4 years, LWC will be there. Okay,
yeah.
but if you talk about the technology, right, or any language,
Mhm.
my preference is always that stick to the language. You learn that particular language, because LWC is not a language in itself. It's a combination of your JavaScript, HTML, CSS,
Yeah.
right? If you know the concept of JavaScript, ES6 features, okay,
Mhm.
you can very well work on the LWC. Okay, because LWC basics is JavaScript. On top of that, it is giving some other feasibility of lightning data service or all that stuff, but basic is a JavaScript, right? So
Yeah,
if you learn these things, because if you go on learning JavaScript, right, JavaScript is again, it's an ocean in itself. Okay, it is having a lot of other stuffs into it, but at least have a basic concept of JavaScript cleared along with the HTML side. And then you can be you can catch up any language. Let's say tomorrow, if they're
but
coming up with some other framework, because these are frameworks, right? So if they're coming up with some other framework, you know the basic, you can definitely pick it up.
yeah, got it, Alok. So yeah, regarding frameworks, yes, I got it. But what about the other stuff? Like, for example, now we have integration. So is there any other latest thing where we can,
uh,
like
Integration,
right?
yeah.
We are
See,
talking about.
integration again. See, if we talk about the integration, right, in Salesforce or in any platform, okay, basically integration are of only two types. You have
Yeah,
SOAP and REST. Okay,
yeah,
only these are the two types of integration. REST are patterns of integration. Like you have the platform events, you have, let's say, EMP API, change data capture. These all comes under the patterns. But if you know the basics, that how the REST and SOAP integration works, let's say in Salesforce as well, you are almost 50%, you are done. You know the integration now,
yeah.
right? So that's where stick to basics, and rest will be taken care automatically.
Yeah, got it, Alok. Yeah, and yeah, just wanted to know, like, this is the first session I joined. Like, I joined it, but in middle I was just dropping out. Like this is like a new thing. I mean, like a lot of learnings in this session. So I would expect more sessions from you, Alok, and Seshagiri.
Sure,
Let us know, like, whenever we have next sessions. And
Uh,
yeah, also, can I get this the session link, because I missed for first 20 minutes of the session.
Yes. We are planning to put it in the YouTube channel. Yeah, we'll once we put it, we will notify you through email. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
definitely.
Yeah, oh, sure, sure. Thank you, Alok.
There are a lot of queries from the session. Sorry,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hi. Actually, on uh, what and all you told on that, few points additional are there which I can explain to him. There is a term called as scene stack. You can check. It's just like, have you heard this term MER in stack? MongoDB, Angular, Express.js, Node.js. In future I'm talking about
mm,
our Salesforce planning similar. The React Native right now we can use in LW, just third party, right?
right,
In future it might be a possibility that there will be a sub function where we can directly call it, and that React Native is going to build a mobile application which might to run the application in the cloud. Basically, in the if I tell you a little more precise, Android's planning to run their application, install their application in the cloud itself, not in the phone. It will
right,
save the battery, it will save their space, right? And the phone performance. Similar concept about Salesforce is also trying that. So all I'm saying to you that if you want to learn new things on that, try to go through Lightning Web Components, and to understand that, first understand Aura. Then, because LWC work on top of that.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Kumar.
Thanks, Kumar.
Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, there is one punk in the chat window. When can we have the Alok GPT?
That's a very long process.
Chinna, please get us the data. With Alok
The
GPT.
fine tuning of Alok GPT.
Get the data until 2023. With GPT-5, not even GPT-4.
Nice.
Yeah. So one question from Antim. Hi Alok, I'm thinking of learning a new cloud. Can you tell which will be better out of these two in Health Cloud and CPQ Cloud?
See, I mean, CPQ cloud is basically, I mean, if I say CPQ cloud is majorly your configurations, right? You do very less of customization. But when it comes to health cloud, right? So recently Salesforce has merged velocity with the health cloud. Okay. So if you are going on a health cloud side, you will get a cloud related knowledge as well as you will also learn the velocity. So my recommendation is if you can go on the health cloud, that will be more beneficial, because even you're learning velocity, you are learning health cloud. And then cpq, if you want to capture concept wise, you can capture it easily because it's more on a configuration. But again, on the implementation side, again, like it depends on project to project, requirement to requirement. But I think health cloud will be more beneficial going forward.
Yeah. Moreover, CPQ can be our secondary cloud,
Yeah,
complementary cloud. But yeah, Health Cloud is much better
right.
than that. Yeah.
Th- Thank you, Alok, for your
Sure,
suggestion.
sure.